7 Democratic presidential rivals will debate tonight in New Hampshire before its first in the nation primary. 2 new polls show Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg fighting for the 2 top spots. Iowa's Democratic Party says all precincts in that state are now reporting results from Monday's caucus. And those results show that Buttigieg and Sanders are in a virtual tie among state delegates. Jane Sanders, the senator's wife, spoke with the Circus co-host Alex Wagner about Buttigieg declaring victory before all the Iowa numbers were released.
What was your feeling when Mayor Pete went out there and said, basically, I'm the victor? He said, we have emerged victorious.
I think candidates do what they have to do in order to move on. I mean, he needed Iowa. He needed that to move on. And the fact is, they both had a good night, and others did not. But we're confident that Bernie will end up being victor.
And Alex Wagner is also a CBS News special correspondent, and she joins us from Manchester, New Hampshire. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
So we have this new polling. It shows Buttigieg and Sanders front runners, if not favorites. What does that mean to the rest of the field?
It means that they are in the fight of their political lives. And I think you're seeing that reflected in some of the rhetoric coming from the Biden campaign. The Warren campaign knows that they need to do well here. And it reflects fundamentally 2 realities, Tony. The first is, up until this point, this has very much been a jump ball. Democratic voters were shopping around. They weren't sure who they wanted to support. This was anyone's race. After Iowa, it is a different story, and it reflects the second truth, which is that Democratic voters also want to coalesce behind someone. They see the president amassing a war chest. They see him with all-time approval ratings highs. They see the Republican Party consolidated around this president, and they know he is going to be a formidable adversary in 2020. And therefore, they want to find their nominee, and they want to get behind him or her.
So we've got Elizabeth Warren in 3rd place in these new polls. You might think she would do well there. She's from nearby Massachusetts, where she's a senator. But I happen to know that some voters in New Hampshire call Massachusetts Taxachusetts. And a lot of her policies involve raising taxes. So right now in this campaign, this primary, is New Hampshire make or break for Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, and I definitely think it is. I was with the senator last night at an event, and I asked her, I said, look, you came in 3rd in Iowa. Is there nothing your campaign wants to do differently in the state of New Hampshire? I mean, especially given the stakes at hand. And, the Warren campaign is resolutely on message. And she said, look, I'm not employing fancy political consultants. I'm out here fighting the same fight I've been fighting my entire life. It is clear that she believes her message about big structural change is the thing that is going to stand her in good stead with Democratic voters. And she is sticking to that message. It's a very different approach than Joe Biden.
Well, speaking of Biden, Alex, his campaign had a big summit yesterday. He called it Iowa gut punch for him. He's running a distant 4th in this poll. What are the stakes for Biden here now?
Huge. I mean, this is someone who was for a while a presumed front runner. And to come in 4th in Iowa and to have high stakes in New Hampshire, Joe Biden is laying it out all on the field, and he is being in quintessential sort of Biden overshare, is saying, look, I need this. If you guys don't come out for me, my candidacy could be over. There's a lot of hyperbole in American politics, but in the case of Joe Biden, if he comes out here with a 3rd or 4th place finish, I think it spells real trouble for his campaign, not just in terms of support, but also dollars. I mean, Joe Biden has limited funds left in his war chest, and he needs the donor class to be convinced that he has staying power.
And Alex, President Trump is claiming victory after being acquitted. Do the Democrats need to turn the page when it comes to impeachment?
Jerika, let me tell you one thing about the 3 senators that had to jet back to Washington, D.C. for the impeachment trial, for Senator Bennett, Klobuchar, Warren, and Sanders. They do not talk about Zelensky or Biden or Ukraine on the campaign trail because they understand a fundamental truth about where the Democratic electorate is about. This is not about impeachment. That is not what is going to win this race for Democrats. This is about health insurance, the social safety net, climate change, gun safety reform. Ukraine does not figure into all of this. Now, Democratic members of Congress have a different strategy, and how the Democratic Party reconciles the national stage with the Washington stage is anyone's guess coming into the fall of 2020.
Very unique state, New Hampshire, also very independent. Only state in the union where there is no law requiring adults to wear seatbelts. But Alex, we expect you to buckle up and be safe, and I will see you.
Always.
I will see you on Monday when I'll be out there as well. The Circus, by the way, folks, airs Sunday on Showtime, a division of Viacom CBS. You can check your local listings.